Abusia for ha Ghanatube from Wonderful Snowy, my science what na CBO me and Sam. Ahudu a ekoso e with the four corners of Ghana bro enti manya agye akonye se de nabusafo se ensam no so makwakwaboa ebi ano de bro enti entempa no ye ba kotie ensam ahudu obi a ekoso e wo my Ghana mu na yaba.
Next, alarming perennial losses of key state-owned enterprises, SOEs, and also some joint venture companies among top issues emerging from day one of the highly anticipated National Economic Dialogue which started today. How can the government deal with this conundrum? And we've got to have a conversation on this because these state-owned enterprises are run with you and I mean the taxpayers' money, and we are paying SOEs, managers, and they're posting losses. That's a concern. It started with the president, John Dramani Mahama, who made a passionate appeal to Ghanaians to rally behind the reset agenda, emphasizing that collective action is crucial to steering the economy towards recovery and sustainable growth. He was speaking at the National Economic Dialogue series that's earlier today during the opening ceremony. Take a look.
We are not here merely to recount our struggles, nor are we here to resign ourselves to economic stagnation. We are here to seek solutions, to adopt strategies that will put us on a sustainable path, growth trajectory, and to ensure that we build an economy that works for every Ghanaian. For me, this is not just another policy discussion. It is an urgent call to action. A crucial moment for us as stakeholders to unite with purpose and resolve the challenges that face us. My priority as president is to restore macroeconomic stability. We must enforce responsible public financial management and ensure fiscal discipline at all levels of government while working to reduce hardships for our people. Under my leadership, the Bank of Ghana's independence will be safeguarded to implement prudent monetary policies that curb inflation, that stabilize our currency and rebuilds our foreign reserves. We must never again allow reckless borrowing and excessive government spending to undermine our progress.
Well, you hear the president talk about all aspects of the economy must work for the Ghanaian people. Well, one aspect that is not working is the state-owned enterprises, the SOEs. And well, this is no news if you've been following the issues over the years, especially when it comes to the fortunes of the state-owned enterprises. But the situation or the development this time around is that it's getting worse. That's according to the Finance Minister, Dr. Kasela Toforsin. It disclosed that almost all state-owned enterprises are making losses. Take a look.
Almost all state-owned enterprises are in the red. Almost all of them are in the red. From the Electricity Company of Ghana to the Agricultural Development Bank. In fact, beginning from the year 2021, 2022, and 2023, you will see that Cocoa Board posed some profit of 2.2 billion in the year 2023. But Your Excellency, this is artificial profit. This profit is because they failed to service their debt because of the debt suspension. And so all the cocoa bills that were due at the time, they failed to pay because of debt suspension. Subsequently, this debt still exists, and so we will need to take action to restructure most of the state-owned enterprises.
Well, you hear the Finance Minister, Dr. Kasela Toforsin, talk about action needs to be taken to restructure a number of the state-owned enterprises because, as he indicated, almost all of them are in red. I mean, that means they are posting losses over the period. And if you recall, sometime in 2022, even at that time, the former Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, did indicate over 50% of the state-owned enterprises were posting losses. Now the situation is that Dr. Kasela Toforsin, the current Finance Minister, says almost all of them are posting losses. The information I'm going to give to you is from the Finance Ministry. The source of what you're going to see on the screen right now is from the Finance Ministry. State-owned enterprises, the joint venture companies that are showing this mounting operational and financial losses as we have seen. And this is it. The Electricity Company of Ghana is leading based on what we got from the Finance Ministry. 2021, they posted loss of over 1.4 billion cedis, ECG. That increased to over 8 billion cedis in 2022, loss. In 2023, it dropped a bit to over 5.9 billion cedis in losses. The Ghana Great Company, also within the same electricity space, talking about over 300 million cedis profit. Then in 2022, they posted some 93.5 million cedis loss. That dropped a bit in 2023 to over 86.5 million cedis loss. The Volta River Authority followed the same. In 2021, they posted some profits of 112.7 million cedis. But then, next year in 2022, they posted a loss of 277.1 million cedis, and that increased to over 380 million cedis in 2023. PSC Tema Shipyard, a subsidiary of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, in 2021, they broke even. That's what the data tells us from the Finance Ministry. In 2022, they posted a loss of over 25.5 million cedis. In 2023, another loss of over 21 million cedis, almost 22 million cedis, as a matter of fact. The Ghana Railway Company Limited, in 2021, posted a profit of over 298 million cedis. In 2022, they posted a loss over 28.4 million. Another loss again in 2023, some 9.3 million cedis. The Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company Limited, 4.2 million cedis and over loss in 2021. A loss again of about some 630,000 cedis in 2022. 2023, that loss increased to over 6.9 million cedis. Gihok Distilleries, 1.27 million cedis profit they posted in 2021. In 2022, then they started posting losses as well. Over 25 million cedis loss in 2022. The same figure thereabout in 2023, over 25 million cedis. GNPA Limited, a loss. In fact, they posted losses right from 2021 based on the data that we got. And they ended that year, 2023, with over 870,000 cedis loss. PMMC, and this is interesting, the Precious Minerals Marketing Company, according to this data from the Finance Ministry, posted a loss of some 12.4 million cedis in 2021. In 2022, that loss reduced to over 2.7 million. Then in 2023, they posted a profit of 42.4 million. This is an area that we'll look at as well going forward, because we're hearing today that the Bank of Ghana has decided to cancel this or put on hold this gold for oil program. Now we'll see how things play out in the coming days, but this is where Sami Jemfi is, and it's one that we're going to be taking a keen look at as things play out in the coming days. The Accra Digital Center also posted losses all through from 2021. Airtel Tigo Ghana Limited, and you should know this, that government is a majority shareholder in there. They posted some profits of 439 million in 2021. In 2022, it's been losses throughout. 434 million in loss, almost 600 million cedis in losses. Ghana Post Company Limited, they've been posting losses since 2021 to 2023, according to this data. Over 4.5 million in 2021, over 1.2 million in 2022, and over some 770,000 in 2023. Ghana Cocoa Board, and you hear the Finance Minister single out Cocoa Board, because if you look at this data, in 2023, Cocoa Board is reported to have posted some profit of over 2.2 billion cedis. In fact, 2.28 billion cedis and over. Apparently, according to the Finance Minister, this profit was realized because at the time Cocoa Board was not paying its debts. So that's why he describes it as artificial profits. So if you take into consideration the debts that Cocoa Board was carrying on its books in the year 2023, based on the Finance Minister saying, that would wipe out this profit that they posted, essentially. Now, if you look at that, in 2021, they posted a loss of over 2.4 billion TDs in losses in 2021. That followed in 2022, according to this Finance Ministry document, and over 3.8 billion CDs cocoa board posted losses. And this, you're looking at how cocoa farmers are also going to be reacting to this particular news that we're hearing. The Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG, also, their book's not looking good. At least in 2021, according to this document, was some profit of a little over 72 million CDs. But then, right from then on, you see about 1.5 billion CDs in 2022 in losses, and then some more losses, some 542.9 million CDs in further losses in 2023. Now, we're yet to get the full complement of the 2024 figures. When we do, from the Finance Ministry, we'll get it for you. But this is the document that Dr. Kasila Toforsin presented earlier today at the National Economic Dialogue. But let's engage Dr. Theo Champong, is an economist and also a political risk analyst who also attended the dialogue earlier today, saw this document I'm talking about. He's joining us right now. Dr. Theo Champong, appreciate your time. And looking at the details of this document and hearing what the Finance Minister said today, almost all the SOEs are running losses. How worrying is this for you?
A bit troubling, but also not too, if you have actually been paying attention to the sector. So for those of us who have been following how our state-owned enterprises have been performing, it wouldn't come as a surprise. So what the Ministry of Finance actually does is every year they put out a report on their website on the performance of these SOEs, and you can go all the way back to 2016 and look at the trend analysis to date. And the story is one that has not been great. But for many other people who have not necessarily paid attention, of course, it will come as a surprise to them. Personally, for me, no. And it shows that, look, we've got deep problems, deep issues that we need to deal with at the level of these SOEs.
I see, and then you talk about the fact that this trend or streak of losses on these SOEs books is not new. It's only gotten worse. If what we got to know in 2022 is anything to go by, that over 50% of them were posting losses. Now the Finance Minister says 90% and over are posting losses. What has to change going forward? Because we certainly cannot be doing the same things and expect different results. Doc.
Change. It goes back to, for me, fundamentally, the caliber of people we're appointing to run these SOEs, right? And the mentality. Until we see the state-owned enterprises as just avenue to reward political cronies and people that sort of supported the campaign, either as CEOs or appointing them to the board, I'm afraid this problem would continue. And I say this for a number of reasons. So take some of the best state-owned enterprises in other jurisdictions within my own energy sector. Take your Saudi Aramco, say take your ADNOC, take your Petronas, Petrobras, and you realize that these are run by highly competent people with proven expertise, and they are also given the room to operate. There's very little political interference in terms of some of the management decisions that they make, and they are not necessarily used as also conduits to sort of finance off-budget expenditures related to the party. So I think that fundamentally, it for me comes back to whom we're appointing there, ensuring that they are actually signing KPIs, performance agreements. You change the remuneration or incentive structure that get a small base pay, and depending on the performance of the SOE, you can get an additional, pay, just to change the way the incentives are generated and created. We have to run them as serious commercial entities and entities that pay taxes or even pay dividends back to the state. And unfortunately, that is not how we've been running these SOEs over the last few years. So it's rather has become a drain on the public finances than an asset in that context.
Yakwakuti and Semno Abba Ahaya Ghanatube, so hit me at the comment section na for commenting na ebre me na menjebre enkinkan emfama mo ansa na mesere mo sumi kai we say aha Ghanatube so on subscribe ya mema we fit subscribe na Facebook me notification bell no for quick updates ebusia for sisi ade makram